Okay, so people, another signature joint for you. It is King of Killers. This is the feature directorial debut from Kevin Grevioux, right? Gosh, yeah, I've always struggled with this name. He also wrote the film. It is produced by Angel Garcia, Juliet Hagopan, Michael Hamilton Wright, Christopher Rush Harrington, Alain Moussi, Todd Slater, and Shane Walker. It's executive produced by Stan Werteleb, Burton L. Warner, Roman Viras de Lesgro, Andrew Van Den Houston, Luke Taylor, Josh Spector, Galan Smith, Marcy Sinakio, Roman Kopalevich, Matthew Helderman, Dave Hanson, Kevin Greer, Tyler Good, Brandon Evans, Mark Danon, Barry Brooker, and Ryko Bradley. Music was handled by Kevon Cronin. Paul Suderman is cinematography. John Gerdebeck edits the piece. Jim Heber is on casting. Production design is Jesse Petterson. Scott Russell, set decoration. Greg Blagovev, costume design. Hair and makeup, we've got Roberta Gale, Aaron Merck, Diane Nimick, Ellie Semashchen, and Barbara Vozovich. Our cast, well, yeah, Alain Moussi is Marcus Garan. Okay, his wife Carla is played by Amy Gruning, and their daughter Kimberly is played by Zoe Warren. He's so yes, Marcus's handler, I guess you would call him, Robert Zane, is played by Stephen Dorff. We then have got Jorg Darkos, played by Frank Grillo. There is who else would there be? I think Dorff's assistant is played by Sam Yunusmov. Then we've got Tyler Williams playing a crazy Russian guy. Rick Nigel is played by Ryan Tarran. Roman Corza is played by Gianni Capaldi. Andre Lecoux is played by the great George St-Pierre. Ren Hero is played by Shannon Kook. Right. Asha Kanmamanan is played by Marie Avgeropoulos. And Dyson Chord is played by Kevin Grevioux. Right, so the gist of the film is, right, well, it's essentially, this is based on a graphic novel from Kevin Grevioux, right? And we follow former agency hitman Marcus Garan as he attempts to unravel the mystery behind a tragic incident. When offered a 10 million contract to eliminate the world's greatest assassin, Marcus travels to Tokyo to meet the client, but discovers after other professional killers have been invited as well. Now Marcus and the others must confront this deadly mythical assassin or die trying, right? So yeah, now we open up with Marcus in a bit of a sticky situation, and it looks like all is done, but then we cut, right? We cut before those events, obviously, right? And I think obviously that won't be the end, right? That can't be the end of our character, obviously not, right? But we see everything that leads up. Now Marcus, yeah, he's a hitman, right? But at home he's got a loving wife, a little kid, happy home life, right? And his mentor, Zan, sends him out on these jobs, right? He gets a call. It's on the day of his wedding anniversary, though, but he decides to take the job. So he goes undercover, but while there, tragedy hits, and that sends everything spiraling. So we then jump forward 6 months, and he's still, trying to cope with everything that's happened, which is difficult. He then gets this offer, right? And he wants to turn it down, but then more tragedy hits, right? So he reluctantly goes to Tokyo. And that's when everything takes interesting turns. Now, there are there's definitely some things here, right? Because security seems to be so lax, right? And if someone sends you through a pen drive, right? You get sent an anonymous pen drive. You're just going to put it into your computer, right? It could be anything, right? Anything. And you just plug it into your computer willy-nilly, right? Which is just like, yo, what's homie doing, man? What's going on here? This seems kind of lax. I mean, security just in general just seems like you're an assassin. You've got a bit of a secret lair. There's no cameras, right? There's nothing. You get knocks on the door. People can put things underneath your door, and you have no clue. It just feels a little bit, just a little bit like, I'm not sure I'm buying that, right? Someone has taken all the time to hide their identity and all of this, but then people can find him, and he won't. It just seems like you put in these extra layers of protection, right? That's what you would feel. But yeah, I don't know. When they get to Tokyo, obviously, right? It's not a psychological thriller. You know what I mean? There's no crazy thought that has to go in. You can kind of switch off and just enjoy the craziness. Right? There's its fight scenes and all of that. Now, there is a layer of complexity that has tried to be added. It doesn't really work. I think just because there's not enough time to build anything, right? And I don't think, because it's not like it's a fast film, right? There's some talking and all of this kind of stuff to trying to build certain aspects of what we're watching. But I just think it doesn't really do the best of jobs at times to really suck you into what's going on, to make you be completely okay. Yeah, I can see why this would go down, right? There's not really that. So you're just like, okay. There's, he's in Tokyo with all of these other assassins, right? All these other killers, supposed. But, I think firstly, people, as I said, it's that security thing, right? Where people are just sitting around and, I don't know, not thinking what the situation could be. Right, like just walking through doors or going, oh, I can just refuse this thing and I can do, right, just not fully going, okay, if we've been brought to this place, then we have no cards, right? Everything is in this dude's hands, right? There doesn't seem any fault, and you're just walking through doors, right? The level of caution is insane. It is like, yo, what? So I think one of the big things is watching and seeing, oh, how are these people going to be dispatched? Right? What weapons are going to be used? What's happening here? So yeah, it's all, it's all mindless fun, right? It's not the fights aren't too bad. I mean, there are occasions where you can definitely see that punch, that kick did not land. Right? There's things like that. Or okay, if someone's doing that, you technically be out or dead even. There's a lot of that. But it's not a film that you're taking too seriously. Right? So as long as you can suspend your belief, you'll be fine. You'll be fine, right? It's along the lines of like an Expendables. I think, oh gosh, what was the film? I think there was John Malkovich in it. It's like Replacement Killers or something, Killers Retirement. Right? There's been a few films which has been set with like assassins and all of that, right? Where they meet up and then they have to kind of work things out. You know what I mean? Like, this could go wrong. We need to band together, or one of us is the killer. Right? One of us has betrayed everyone. Right? It's one of yeah, it's one of those films, people. You know? So I think we've covered a few on the pod, right? We have covered a few on the pod. I think, if I remember correctly, like a couple have been like Shudder originals, you know? I do believe that. So yes, if they are your type of films, this will work. And it ends, I mean, the ending is pretty fucking nuts. Right? The ending is pretty nuts. And it is one of those ones where you'll be like, I mean, could we not have done this a different way? Right? I kind of feel we could have done this a different way, but it's definitely set up for a sequel. It's definitely set up for a sequel. The concept, it is again, it's something that we have seen a lot. It's something we've seen in big budget indie, it's just one of those ones, right? And so yeah, I think if this probably does well, we will be getting a sequel. Now, I do know, right? I don't know if we will get a sequel, but there is something I do know, people. there is a prequel TV series being made. Yeah, supposedly it's going to be 6 episodes. I believe it's in production right now. Yep, right now. So yeah, and again, that's a prequel. So we will see probably, how these different assassins have worked in the past, right? Previous meetings, just all of those sorts of things. So yeah, I think there is that, but you may roll your eyes at the end. You may roll your eyes at the end, people. As a feature directorial debut, and thinking of the stuff that Garou has worked on, like Underworld, and it's a solid, directorial debut. It's not gonna set the world alight, but if you like stuff like Vicious Fun, and again, those other assassin group types of flick, right? If that's your bag, then this probably will work for you. Just remember, go in with a suspended belief and you should be fine. Right? So it's going to hit VODs on Friday, the 15th of September. And then the following week, on the 25th, you will be able to purchase the DVD. Now, pre-order links will be on the website. So, yeah, people, King of Killers. Do you want to play the game?